Alright, good morning guys. Welcome to the 85th episode of the Ironman challenge. We are back. I am, I guess you call it over the weather at this point. Yeah, I was sick for a little bit. That's why we weren't on for Monday and Tuesday. And, pretty much I think we're good to go now. I know it's getting later into the month. We are level 30. I think, gene numbers or only has it pretty much wrapped up in bag as far as the Ironman challenge goes. But, we'll continue through and see if we can stay alive for the next 3 days of the month. But Erie, Gary, Austin, Fabio, Reptus, Gold, good morning. How are you guys doing? Gold says, hey guys, there good Legion private server. I have no idea, Gold. I don't play any sort of private servers. But go ahead and keep going through the rules here as we do normally first thing in the morning. For those that are new to the Ironman challenge, we'll start out with. For the Ironman challenge, there is no dying, there's no gear above white quality, there's no gear enchants, no talents, no potions, no flasks, no elixirs, no joining groups or raids, no killing dungeon or raid bosses, no food buffs, no XP boosting activity, no battlegrounds, no bodyguards, and no professions except for first aid. For the month of September, which we're about to wrap up here pretty soon, we've been doing the Warlock race. I haven't seen any charts from Keithy yet, so I will double check that here after the stream. But as of now, it looks like we are pretty much set with who's going to win the fastest to 60 as well as the what do you want to call it, the highest level man standing. I believe that's the case. But at any rate, how's everyone's morning going? Bobby says, oh, how's it going, Kuhn? Feeling good? Yeah, feeling a little bit better now. I'm a little bit behind in everything, including the game, schooling, and all the other stuff going on. So that's what happens when you're down for 2 days. Reptus says, hey, long time no see. What's going on, Reptus? So let's go ahead and jump right into it. See how far we can get today. How's everyone's day going, by the way? Like I said, for those that haven't seen me in a couple days, I have been sick, so that's come and gone. And I think we need to start out in this area. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and remember all the buttons we need to push. It only says I'm parked at 83. Yeah, every other character got above 60 died. Yeah, that seems to be the case only. I think you're in a pretty good position. Like I said, this is probably the first time I've been on YouTube since Saturday. I think, yeah, probably since Saturday. How's everything going as far as the rest of the challenge? I know we lost Nail probably about a week ago, but yeah, you're sitting in a pretty comfortable position at the time being. Oh yeah, as always, or as normal, should I say, we go over here and grab the quest from the Goblin guy. He has us kill a bunch of scorpions, basilisk, and these dread swoops. So we're just kind of going to kill those as we go in between our normal questing area. But it's finally it's nice to not be sick. So Mike says hi. What's going on, Mike? Good morning. How are you doing? See if we can sneak into our area here without aggroing everything. Yeah, I want to say normally as a I think normally as a hunter, maybe previous warlocks, we were able to get in here as maybe a level 31. Oh, we did forget our pet though. So let's go ahead and drain some health, I suppose. There we go. Alright, so we have the pet now, we have the health stone, we're good to go. Gary says, hey, good morning, Gary, how are you doing? Welcome back. We are trying to find a little goblin so that we can grab those 3 quests and then. Alright, you know what, I need to, well, I was going to say I need to stay on the road, but we ended up outgrowing it anyway. So we'll go ahead and pick our health back up and continue on from here. There we go. Yeah, so today's going to be a normal 3-hour stream because like I said, in being sick, I got behind in everything, including schoolwork, so probably going to keep it at from 6 to 9 today. That way I can go ahead and once I log off, work on the schoolwork, get caught up on that, and then we'll figure out when we can do an extended stream. But I think for today we're going to keep it at 3 hours, just so I can keep up with real life. Paradox, see, it says take a 15-minute break. Thought I'd stop by and say hi. What's going on, Paradox? Good morning. We are just starting, so I'm level 30 at the moment, and Sam's a little low on health, but he'll be all right. Yeah, I think we're starting out pretty well. I think we're gonna hit level 31 here pretty soon, and then see if we can at least stay alive the rest of the month. I think that's the goal at this point in time. Yeah, we have with today's stream, and then we have tomorrow, and then I am off on the 29th. I have some activity going on with that, but yeah, I think that's gonna make a total of what, 3 more streams until the end of the month, and then I think a lot of the guys that have died at level 60 are calling it for the month. So with that being said, I think you know, it is kind of expected. It's nothing good or bad. It's just kind of expected that once you get toward the end of the month and the leaderboard starts to get a little bit more finalized, people start to peter off or take a break or whatnot. So it's all kind of expected. No big deal. I am going to resummon Sam here though, just so that we can not lose our pet mid-stride. But we are working our way toward the oh, there we go, level 31. We are working our way toward the little area in this corner. What we're going to need to do is pick up 3 quests once we're back there. So once we get back there, we'll work our way, kind of grind our way to those. Now, for those who may be new to the Ironman Challenge, maybe new to Deathless, Deathless is going to be one of those areas where it's a little bit slower to level. It's not the worst zone in the world. That might be reserved for Silithus, but it is slow. Nikki says, I missed you, Kyun. Your smiling face. I hope you feel better today. Thank you, Nikki. I appreciate that. Thanks for coming back despite us being away for 2 days. So thank you very much for that. Jen says, hi, what's going on, Jen? Good morning. And Nikki, how's work going for you? Hope everyone's doing well over there. Jen, how's your morning going? Alright, so we did manage to get that off real quick. And we'll blow that up. We don't really need to kill this guy except for to keep him from sneaking up behind us. The elementals here do have a generally wider and more dangerous patrol, so you don't want to let them sneak up behind you. Also, these dogs, usually there's more than one in the area if you see one, so I don't know if they're all tied together, so we'll just kind of avoid those altogether. Morning, Jen. We like I said, I've been down since last, what was it, Saturday? Yes, last Saturday. So we are up and rolling now. We're going to get as far as we can. I don't think I have the time to say make a 12-hour run and try to make one last ditch effort to catch up and get past 60. In being, oops, I got hit hard. In being sick, I did get behind in just about everything, so I have to hop off later today to catch up on the schoolwork and whatnot. But we are going to keep going, see how far we can get. If we can get the Warlock to a decent level by the end of the month, I think it's worthwhile for us to keep going. And as we go into October, if the Warlock happens to die again, we'll you know, we'll switch over to the Hunter. But I don't see too much of a reason to abandon the Warlock, especially if the Hunter's say level 35 and the Warlock's 45 or something along those lines. It's just one of those things where I think it's better to finish off with a living Ironman challenger and before switching off to a lower level. And excuse me. She says, "Well, I'm waiting to have a beard like you." You say that. It's a pain actually shaving this thing every day. In fact, I actually probably need to shave here pretty soon. That one of the things we want to watch out for in this area is that the mobs here, there are a significant amount of stealth mobs, so those guys, Yeah, let's go ahead and build up our health. So if you see a wide open area like this, there's a good chance there's a stealth one hiding out. Just try to be, what do you want to call it? Conscious of that? Yeah, like that right there. There we go. Generally speaking, the Hate Fury mobs hit pretty hard. You have to shake. Maybe not every day. That might be a little exaggeration. I meant to shave this morning, but in the effort to catch up with everything and whatnot, I didn't do that. So, but yeah, no, I don't shave every day. That's kind of funny. But no, as far as the Hate Fury mobs, they do hit pretty hard for the most part. So if you have 2 on you, it's a little bit more serious of a situation than you know if you had 2 normal mobs on you, just because these things do hit pretty hard. But with this, we're going to pick up 3 quests, and 2 have to do with just killing the Hate Fury. These guys actually drop the meat as well as the knives and our weapons. Can't remember if it's a knife or a sword, but they do drop them, and you just want to make sure you kill as many as you can, or not kill as many as you can before you pick up the quest. There we go. Just going to see if we can grind our way to this next quest over here. She says, I don't know if I would shave because I'd be too proud of my glorious beard I created. That's kind of funny. You say that, but you know, after a little while, I hate it. I don't know how people allow it to grow on their neck. It drives me insane. It gets all itchy and everything. Can't do it. I don't know, like I said, how people manage to do that and not drive themselves crazy in doing so. Alright, so for that, I have a feeling there's a stealth mob over there, so we'll just kind of avoid that area altogether. Like I said, try not to, in picking up these 2 quests, I try not to kill as many of these things as possible, just because it doesn't do us all too good. The quest items don't drop until we have the quest, so just try to pick up these items, or kill these guys after we get the quest. There we go. Alright, so at this point we can kill as many of them as we can find and work our way toward the 3rd quest. Sarah says, hey man, what are you studying? Nice, good morning, how are you? I'm studying project management as well as mechanical engineering. So I am, and being sick the 3 or 4 days, I got way behind on that. So like I said, today will be a 3-hour stream. We'll keep it down to a minimum of 3 hours. But we will try to squeeze in some extended raids, or extended streams later on. But for the time being, today will be 3 hours. And I have probably, as far as the program goes, I probably have another 2 years to go. So this is something that I would like to do the entire time I'm doing the you know, the schooling and the pursuit of education. I'd like to stream the entire time, so hopefully this is something we can do for the next, oops, pick this one up, the next 2 years. So with that being said, let's go ahead. Alright, so yeah, we did get the flesh that we need, or at least one of them. And let's go ahead and kill this guy. Alright, that was a mistake. Alright, so let's go ahead and build our health back up. At least we opened up with a Chaos Bolt, and we're able to close to one-shot him. That's going to start to taper off here shortly. I would say you one-shot him until about level 20 to 25, and then let's go ahead and summon Sam. And then you probably need to a Chaos Bolt plus a whole half rotation once you start to get to level 40. Right now we're still in that sweet spot where we hit them for about 90% of our health. Alright, fine. I didn't want to be up there anyway. We'll go ahead and open up with the Chaos Bolt. Yeah, Conspiracy says, my children. What's going on, Conspiracy? Welcome back. How's everything going on your end? Now, Nice, are you in, Nice and Sour, are you in school as well, or are you just kind of, holding off, or what you got going on? Alright, so that's our 3rd quest. at this point in time, we just kind of run around looking for the melons on the ground. More often than not, the melons are next to trees. So that being said, the only reason we're heading this way is sometimes there's a rare that'll pop up right here. The NPC scan indicates that he patrols through the area, but I've only ever seen him right here in these ruins. So yeah, I don't think that's him right over there. Yeah, that's not him. Okay. Jesus, hi Dad. Says not much. Not much. We are trying to catch back up as much as possible. I don't expect by. Ooh, he's summoning a minion. I did not know he did that. That's interesting. So we'll go ahead and get our health back up. But no, not much. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and see if there's a melon or two near this tree. Doesn't look quite like it. And Jen says, so any idea how I could have a job playing games? That is the dream, Jen. I would have to say it's pretty... the odds of it, someone being able to have a job playing games is pretty low. Just because there's so many people trying, and the I don't know, just the odds and the financial tie-ins that work in the background all together aren't the best, aren't ideal. So I'd say in general it's pretty low. I would bank on pursuing an education and for lack of better terms, working out in the real world. And Jordan says game testing jobs. Yeah, that too. And even those don't pay much at all. Alright, so with that we're good. Hey bud. Yeah, I am a pretty big advocate of education, so if you guys are looking toward that, that's always a conversation I'm willing to participate in, just because I think it is highly important. I've been in a situation where I've experienced being in the workforce with and without it, and there's a pretty wide gap of opportunities in between those two situations. I said, I'm a builder in New Zealand. Oh, you're nice, very nice. What do you build? And I says, do you have a Twitch? Nice, I do not yet. I am trying to, just kind of start out, but it looks like I've had a couple requests to start on Twitch here recently, so maybe in the next month or so I'll start up a Twitch. I did try it a while back, but I think I will start one here maybe in the next month or so. I guess I should say I do have an account. I just don't use it at this point in time. I'm trying to find a way to harmonize the chat so that we're not having what do you want to call it? Two avenues of conversation. That way, if we talk on, say, the Twitch chat, we're not necessarily negating the YouTube chat and vice versa. So I'm just wanting to find a nice way to harmonize that as much as possible. But I think in the near future we'll start Twitch up here pretty soon. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and see if we can. What I'm going to do is see if I can kill another one of these Hate Fury guys using only my fire spells. That way, well, nope, we're good. Alright. I was going to say, your fire spells generate soul shards for you, and then your Chaos Bolt consumes them. So if you're in a situation where you need to kill, 2 or more mobs at once, you definitely want to start out with a Chaos Bolt. So that's kind of why I was running back over there. But your soul shards also passively regenerate, so there's that as well. And then, excuse me, we'll regenerate here. There we go. Oops. Let's go ahead and pull our health back to this guy as much as possible, especially as a warlock. You want to keep your health as close to max as possible. With a hunter, we have a little bit more options as far as what do you want to call it, survivability. If we're night elf, we have shadow mail, then we have feigned death, then we have you know, slows and traps and everything. So it's not as essential to stay at topped off. With the Warlock, since we have very little, not as many tools to stay topped off or escape, we want to stay topped off as much as possible. And Mesa says, show your equipment. Alright, we can do that. Let's go ahead and put that up. So for no reason in particular, we're going to see if we can keep a red transmog going. At this point in time, gear's really not, especially for casters, really not anything worthwhile investing in. Just because, oops, there we go. Let's go ahead and pull our health back up. Just because even with the gear we have all of 15 armor. I think if I wanted to be, you know, optimal, what do you want to call it, armor and efficiency, I could have maybe near 25 armor at the most. But yeah, it's just, at this point in time, armor is just no big deal other than transmog. Conspiracy says the monk I'm making is level 80 now. Very nice, Conspiracy. How do you like the monk? Are you doing DPS or tanking? Iku says hello again. Good morning, Iku. Welcome back to the stream. How are you doing? How's your Warlock coming along? So with that, let's go ahead and light this guy up. And we're going to have to deal with a demon here in a second, which is not a big deal, but it does drain a decent amount of health off. There we go. And Conspiracy says, well, all the mods transfer here from Twitch. And I think Nice and Sour said something. That says, you have to make a separate account on Twitch, then Keen will make you a moderator. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think that's pretty accurate. Conspiracy, what Nice has said. Alright, so with that, how many more melons do we need? We need 4 more melons, I believe. And we did aggro both of these guys. You'll notice that the pet doesn't do anything until he hits me. I've kind of switched from assist to defensive. For me, it just makes the pulls a lot more cleaner, for lack of better terms. When you open up with a spell, if it's on assist, it's kind of like what the hunter pet will do, which just runs off and attacks the mob and runs to him, which is okay for the most part. But you know, as a hunter, you can kind of deal with that, especially if he pulls more ads. But as a warlock, the addition of ads is what makes it more dangerous than anything else. There we go. I think this is going to be number 8. Yeah, that's 8. Alright, so we'll run up here, click on these items, and should be good to go. There might be a stealth mob. Yep, there we go. And let's see. Iker says Warlock's level 61. Had exciting times in Silithus. Oh, you did go to Silithus. You're braver than me. That's a Silithus can be rough, even as a hunter. Those cultist guys hit like trucks, so that's pretty dangerous. Alright, so let's go ahead and light this guy up as well, if we can see him. The bad thing about the Silithus guys is, especially the questing out there, is that you have one quest where you're supposed to collect, I think, like 8 or 10 pieces of paper. I want to say, like, they're called cultist documents or something, and the drop rate for those things are incredibly low. So generally speaking, I don't like the questing in Silithus because, one, the mobs that are, what do you want to call it? There we go. The quests that have you kill mobs are very grindy. You know, you have to kill, say, 12 or 15 of one type, and then turn around and kill another 12 or 15. Once you've done with those 3, you have to do another set of 3. So you've, right on entering into Silithus, you have to kill 90 mobs. And then that doesn't even include what you have to kill as far as the cultists go. So it's a really grindy zone. And Zenith says, how did your human warlock die? How did he die? He died about a week ago in Negran. In trying to avoid one pack, we ran by a building, and it just so happened we couldn't see what was inside the building, so when we ran by it, we ran by the opening of it, excuse me, and pulled more mobs. So in doing that, we went from a situation where we had 3 mobs on us, and then we were looking at 7 mobs, and that was just way too much to recover from. So yeah, it was a little rough, but it is all part of the Ironman challenge. Well, I think we're just kind of, generally speaking, try not to put ourselves in that situation. I think the only thing we could learn from that is to try to stay on the perimeter and not run in. My best option is I probably could have just run out of the, what do you want to call it, of the little city or the town, but instead I ran by a building, and that just made it difficult from there. So I'm looking at my OBS. If you guys are experiencing any sort of lag or buffering, let me know. My OBS is, the numbers that it's outputting are a little bit less than optimal. It looks like it's spiking between 35 and 5500. So if it looks rough when you're in, let me know. I'll see if I can do anything on my end. But it looks like YouTube says everything's alright and in the green. Mika says there are level 110 mobs now in Silithus. Are there really? Is it? I don't know if I've come across 110 mobs. How many weapons do we need? We need 4 more weapons. We have all the meat we need, so should be good with that. And with that, we'll be good here. And let's see. Yeah, I think I need to click on the items first. There we go. So with that being said, let me write this down. Healing. For those that are new to the channel, I do write down stuff quite a bit, just to I did not want to accept that. That was blessings from above. We'll abandon that one. The reason we're abandoning it is that the point of the quest is to give us a buff, but we kind of have to do it because if we don't, it gates the rest of the content as far as the questing goes. So we're going to abandon this because turning it in a second time isn't going to give us any sort of XP, so it's not like we could sit here and grind these guys for hours on end and get all the items that we need. There we go. Oh good, he was about to summon another demon. Alright, so with that we're good here. How many more sabers do we need? 3, I think. Yes. And I think we can put that on our toolbar, right? Yep, perfect. So we'll do it that way. And then here says, oh yep, there's some level 110 mobs. Conspiracy says pull too many mobs. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what happened. The pulling of too many mobs is a good way to end the Ironman challenge. Logan says long time no see. No, another tune died. Oh, he did. He died about a week ago. If that's any consolation, which is probably not. But yeah, he did die. I think it was last week. So we are now trying the dwarf race out and see if that gives us any better luck this time around. I don't see any stealth mobs here. Only says one thing I've learned from watching Ironman race streams is that people don't quite get what the Ironman challenge is. You have to win, or at least survive every fight, pretty much. If the odds aren't overwhelmingly in your favor, skip it. That's almost always more isolated mob than a stone's throw away. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, there's almost always a mob, more isolated mob, a stone's throw away, and that's probably a big part of it. Is sometimes people choose to do quests that would, let's see, unnecessarily do a quest that generates a high amount of risk. So with the Warlock, I've kind of, especially in the Grand, I've kind of tapered down which quests I do, just because we are at 18, so we need to find the stealth guy. Maybe he'll give us 2. There we go. I guess that's part of it with the Warlock. You know, there's the application of DPS from a Warlock, from a Hunter to a Warlock's a lot different. So you know, your Hunters will put up a lot of damage up front, and then you know, you're waiting on your resources, whereas a Warlock kind of ramps up, especially if you're Affliction. So that being said, a Warlock kind of encounters a lot more mechanics throughout a fight. There we go. Continue draining this health here. A Warlock, like I said, encounters a lot more mechanics throughout the fight, so you just want to be as careful as possible with the quests that you pull. And we are still at 19, so let's go ahead and nuke this guy since he's here. And Mika says, I was kind of wrong with Silithus mobs level. I think they can scale between 54 and 110. I saw them with my 110 character. I think the cultist guys scale with your character Iku. I think that's how that works. I think also, what do you want to call it? It's a decent method to farm gold. I know a lot of people make DKs and run up there and try to sit there and what do you want to call it? Grind on the mobs for hours on end in hopes of getting some of the more valuable transmog gear. So yeah, they kind of scale, and their loot table is based on what level they are. Alright, so let's go ahead and, alright, we have our 20 weapons. We'll run over here, turn them in. And I think that should be it for this area. We'll kind of grind our way back to Nigel's Point, killing everything that we come across. Oops. So with that, we're good here. And perfect. So I'm just making sure when I drop down I don't land on top of the mob. There we go. Just go ahead and kill this guy. But not too bad. Like I said, the Deathless questing is a little bit slower. We're about 30 minutes in. We did level once, but we're still only about halfway there, so it's a little slower than the previous zones. It does pick up a little bit in Fairless. I'm just making sure there's nothing that's going to sneak up behind me. Alright, there we go. David says, getting 31 was pretty quick this time around. We did do it. Fairly quick, actually. We've haul-tailed throughout, what was it? Darkshore, Ashenvale, and Stone Talon Mountains. I think, like I said, it kind of slows down in Deathless. We can try to speed it up a little bit, but you know, it would have to be very careful. Like here, we could probably speed it up here. We're pulling one mob at a time. Where we want to kind of slow it back down is when we get near the buildings and the structures where you're in an enclosed area. So you just want to be careful of that. And Nice says, what do you think is the hardest class to do the Ironman challenge? Let's see, Nice. Let's see, what's the best way to? I'm not sure. I think what I'm going to do is, throughout this Ironman challenge, the first thing I'm going to do is try to level a Hunter up to level 110, then level a Warlock, or not a Warlock, a melee class, and just kind of get a comparison between the two and see if one's necessarily harder than another, or if it's an adjustment to how a class runs. But from what I've heard, with survivability and a combination of DPS, I think Shaman are Shamans. Either one. I think those are pretty much what people agree on as being the more difficult class to do and have a hardest time adjusting to. But that's just based on hearsay. We'll probably actually give it a shot on the channel and just see for ourselves which one is the easiest or hardest. I'm hoping in the future that they start to implement the technology from Legion into the older zones where they scale up with you to a certain extent. Say for example, Azeroth would scale with you up to level 60, no matter what zone you're in Azeroth outside of the Cataclysm zones, and then you know your Outland zones would scale up to say 70. That way you could kind of stick with the storyline a little bit. I think that would make the Ironman challenge a little bit more difficult as well, just because a lot of these mobs don't hit as hard, and it's solely because you kind of throughout the challenge you kind of out level the zone to some extent. So I think if and when they implement that technology, that's going to make the Ironman challenge much harder than it is right now. Right now it's just a matter of skipping certain quests and avoiding stuff that's notorious for being difficult. Case in point would be Ander Hall in, what was it? I think it's Eastern Plaguelands. That boss can be extremely difficult, and if you do it at the, what do you want to call it, the level, at the same equivalent level, it could be even more difficult, if not impossible. I am going to try to keep my health up here. Jep says, sorry about the 66 death, mate. Caught it on the video, wasn't there for the stream. Good luck on your dwarf. Thank you, Jep. I appreciate that. Thank you for stopping by the way. David says, rogue is squishy, shamans little to no mitigation, but heals are strong but inefficient. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, they're probably pretty costly with regards to mana, I would imagine. I think a lot of your heals are when it comes to that. I think paladins have that same issue. A lot of the classes like your rogues and your mages and classes like that, I wouldn't say they're impossible. It's just in those early levels, those classes tend to have not as many of their utilities, such as, you know, what do you want to call it? The rogue stealth, the one where they just kind of, I think, cloak of shadows. And then your mages don't get their shield until later, so it's just one of those things that it's almost harder at the early levels, just because you don't have the utility you normally would have as that class. You know, kind of case in point for the Warlocks is, for the first time in the early levels, the cost of the spells as far as mana goes is pretty high, and we have run out of mana a couple times, which is something we really don't run into anymore. I don't think we've had that issue since maybe level 6 or 7, which is kind of what David says. No low level you don't get a lot of the leaps and stuff. You can go in from the start, but you can't get away. Yeah, exactly, David. That's kind of what I've noticed too. Once you start getting those talents, though, I think the difficulty starts to plateau a little bit. It only says I got a level 100 to... Oh, I got a level 100 on Speckless Rogue during Warlords, and they're even better now. Yeah, I think once you can level them high enough to get some of your utilities, like we get the Soul Stone now, we have the Stone Form, which since I was sick I did completely forget to... Not forget, I didn't get a chance to macro those two. I think I'm going to try to macro my Stone Form as well as my Hearthstone together, just so we actually use it more often. Let me grab his tail just in case. I think that's going to be the last one we need. Yes, perfect. And then we'll go turn in these quests real quick. I think once we turn in these quests, we'll have a follow-up to go kill a named mob. While we're over there, we'll probably kill more mobs and then get an ear to drop, and that opens up the door for more quests over there. So we'll probably spend a decent amount of time in this area here shortly. So with that, we're good. And yes, we have 3 more quests now. So let's go ahead and grab that one. Since we are in this area, we could empty out our bags, start putting stuff in a little bit more orderly fashion. It only says, also I have the speed to 60 non-hunter record on a warrior. Rogue and warrior are underrated. Only, what was the 0 to 60 speed on the non-hunter? Or I guess on the warrior. Because I think Xantric was pretty close. I want to say he had 14 hours on a level 54 before he died, if I read today's post, which is pretty impressive. Alright, so what we're going to do here is sell everything that's soulbound and that probably won't sell in the auction house. That being said, we do sell. No, we'll sell that. We do try to, as much as possible. We'll set that aside here. As much as possible, try to keep stuff that's bind on equip. Keep the meat as well as the cloth. That those typically sell not too bad for the most part. Soulbound, soulbound. Have a nice bow. That's a green item, so we can't use that anyway. Throw in some mystery meat. And like I said, we're just trying to go for a red transmog for really no reason, except just to have it. Alright, so with that, we're good. And I think we head back to... No, we should go ahead and knock out the 2 scorpions and 1 or 2 more dread swoops. That way we'll turn in the quest to this goblin. That should get us pretty close to 32, if not 32. David says, they are underrated, but more the least understood. Oh, okay, as far as this, yeah, I can see that. The if you can survive those lower levels, your classes that are like that, I think are pretty strong. I've actually enjoyed the warrior. David says warrior's gotten a lot easier to level. I agree. Yeah, the what do you call that? Victory rush. There it is. Victory rush is very nice. Every time after you kill a mob, you have 10 or 15 seconds to kill another one, hit another one, and in doing so, that'll give you a 30% heal. So that's quite powerful, to say the least. And it's actually something I'm working on my Bloodthirsty Ironman. Only says 10 to 60 was 20 hours, 5 minutes, 7 seconds. Don't know the 1 to 60 time. So that's pretty insane, actually. And that's fast. I think Xantric would be pretty close to that with his lock. I was hoping he'd make it to 60 so we could see, but I think he got caught up in Silithus, maybe? Which, like I said, Silithus is a pretty dangerous zone. If you're leveling, you're doing the Ironman challenge, I try to avoid that place as much as possible, but sometimes there's no getting around it. And then Speckless Warrior had barely any skills, pretty much only the skills shared by all 3 specs, which wasn't much. Yeah, I remember that actually. That was I think we're good with these guys. We just need the dread swoops at this point. I do remember the leveling, the speckless leveling. I remember people doing it. I never did it myself, but that would be extremely tough. Like you said, a lot of your key survival spells that you get on either spec, you don't have at all at that point in time. So I would not want to, not even want to attempt that actually. Alright, so let's see if we can get this one by himself. Yes, it is. Hey, cute. Anyone ever do a pally? What's going on, Neil? Welcome back to the stream. I have not tried a pally yet. I'm thinking that might be a pretty good class for our second Ironman race. We haven't set a date as far as November or December, but I think that's going to be a pretty good class to give it a shot then. Also, in contrast to the Warlock, it'll give people, what do you want to call it, options as far as whether or not they want to do the healing spec, the DPS spec, or the tanking. And let's see if we can sneak by here without aggroing either one. Alright, perfect. Adam says, is it still considered Ironman and you have a spec now? Welcome to the stream, Adam. Yes, it is. That's one of the bigger changes, just because at level 10 there's no getting around it. Once you hit level 10, they automatically give you a spec. For hunters, say it's Beast Mastery. For Warlocks, I think it's Affliction, and that is level 32. Put our banish spell there and keep heading this way. So the to kind of make up for that, since there's no getting out of a spec, they've opted to say no talents per each of the specs. But let's go ahead and kill him, see if we can get his ear. But yeah, specs are in general, I guess definitely, there's no really in general about it, specs are allowed now, just because you're forced into one. Only says Zentric died in Swap of Sorrows. He ignored the patroller on a giant freaking Kodo. And I finally noticed him mid-fight. Plus another patroller joined the party. Ah, I missed that. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. There's our ear quest. So let's go ahead and clear these guys out. Well, it says irons have specs now because Blizzard forces you. Yep, exactly right. Times change. Every time I hear that statement, I think of Garrosh. Times change. Alright, with that, let's go ahead and knock out this guy. The named mob will save the Chaos Bolt Forge just so we don't have to deal with him too much. David says, I think the exact reason, let's see, is why rogues are one of the hardest being melee. They may not notice a patrol coming up on them, or if the cloak is down, that could be really hard. Yeah, I would say that's, I wouldn't say, maybe I would. That might be the case for all classes though, is the patrols more than anything are what sneak up on you. Especially if you get in the fatigue mindset where you're just kind of grinding mobs, not paying attention, just trying to get through the quest. It can be, a patrolling mob can make a situation very overwhelming pretty quick. Especially if you decide to either run or you know, move a lot. All of that makes the, what do you want to call it, the nature of the pulling and killing a lot more difficult. Your fight mannerisms from one mob at a time to two mobs is much different. We are starting to build up that. I think we can click this off if we get it. But with that being said, let's go ahead and open up 2 Chaos Bolts just to take care. Oh, only one's needed. Very nice. So we'll complete that quest, accept it, and loot whatever he has. Apparently he doesn't have any ears, so we'll keep going. And Dave says there's no reason to go specless anymore. David, there's no reason to, and you can't really. There's really no way to get out of a spec. I think, yeah, there we go. Making sure I'm targeting him rather than the guy on the inside of the wall there. Progressive says, hello, Q, and welcome back. Good morning, Progressive. How are you doing? We are back. Thank you for that. We've managed to survive somehow. How's your Warlock going so far? I've heard there was a couple more deaths while I was out, so I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know if your Warlock might have been part of them. I know Zentric died here recently. And David says he isn't using any talents, which is correct. Rather than no spec, since you're forced to spec, the only really real thing to make up for that is no talents. And Adam, thank you for the subscription. Good morning. Thank you for being a part of the conversation as well. How's your morning going? I say we've been doing this for closing in right on 3 months now, and it's been a lot of fun. Haven't made it to 110 yet, but we'll get there. Well, I think we'll have a lot more, what do you want to call it, a lot quicker pulls once we move back to the Hunter. If it just so happens that our Warlock is a higher level than our Hunter, we'll continue with the Warlock until and if it dies. At that point, it's just pretty much using whichever Ironman's higher. The reason I say that is that I have a parked Hunter at level 35 that we stopped playing at the end of last month just so we could participate in this month. So whether or not we go right back to that Hunter, it kind of depends on what level we are as a Warlock. Hopefully I don't get sick again, so we'll be at a higher level and we can keep going. Alright, with that, let's go ahead and nuke this guy. And Progressive still at level 26 and sleeping. Very nice. The Warlock's been a lot of fun though. I'm glad we decided to do that, just because it gives me a little bit more skill set to be able to play my 110. We did make it to level 66, so in looking at the, I guess, the rotation that we had in addition to the spells that we were using, it's whatever we were doing at 66 is pretty much going to be the same thing we're going to be doing at level, let me save this for later, level 110. I don't think we had too many new spells up to that point. So it was pretty good, thanks. I appreciate that as well, Adam. Thank you for being a part of the stream. Let's go ahead and nuke this guy and see if we can nuke this one as well. Since we have 5 soul shards. And then, oh, let's go ahead and drain his health. I'm going to pull this guy back here because he does patrol back around, I think. Or maybe it's this one. Our health is somewhat low, so I was just going to drain health, but maybe I'll eat instead. Only says written rules were no specs, no talents, because challenge was written in the days of talent trees. And we'll go ahead and nuke this guy just in case he has something to say later. Alright, good. He didn't aggro that one, so I'm not too worried about it. This area can be a little bit of a mess because you have a mob that stands on this side of the entryway, and then a mob that stands on this side of the entryway, and not until recently did I notice that there's a mob that patrols in a circle around this place, so I'm going to wait for him to come back around. He can make things pretty complicated, especially for the Warlocks. And then only says talents have always been non-Ironman. Yes. And there we go. Let's go ahead and take care of this one. Yeah, there is no, and never have been, like only says no talents when it comes to, or the no allowance of talents when it comes to the Ironman challenge. So I'm gonna see if I can pull this guy. There we go. Without pulling the one behind us. Alright, that works. And good to go. So I'm going to try to utilize my drained soul just a little bit more often so that we can keep our health up. Probably should have, I think I'm going to save my chaos bolt for when we need to kill the named mob here. This guy. And that should do it. I think he dies at, yeah, 1. Perfect. So with that, we'll sneak in here. Not going to worry about looting him. Just because that's probably going to aggro more than we want to deal with. Since we have this quest, you know what? Let me think. There's a lot of skulls in here, so it might be worthwhile grinding our way through. I say a lot. This time there only happens to be 1 pile, so we'll take it. Alright, that works. Sometimes this building can have all the 100 skulls that you need. Other times, I think I've seen it once or twice where there's no skulls in there at all, so let's just go ahead and gather as many as we can. Reason being is that we don't want to spend a lot of time inside this building running around. Mobs can respawn fairly quickly, so we just want to avoid a situation where we're trying to race ourselves as a warlock. Alright, so here comes this one. And we'll jump out of that. Oh, nope, he's going to chase us anyway. Alright. That's at 65. We have all the ears we need. Since we are at somewhat low health, we'll go ahead and sit down and eat real quick. Only says pet attack doesn't need line of sight, plus you can tell the pet to move back if you really need to annoy a mob around the corner. Yeah, and especially with, you know, line of sight pulling, if you have your pet on defensive, you can just throw an instant spell and then run back around the corner, and especially if the mob, you know, cast spells, for the most part they'll run right to you. And should be pretty easy to like only said line of sight pull them. There's sometimes looting them where you can get yourself in trouble. Alright, so with that, I think that's, nope, we have a pile of skulls right there actually. So we'll open up with a Chaos Bolt. Actually, we might save it. We'll save that Chaos Bolt just in case we need it for these two guys. We're gonna, if we kill one, or if we hit one, we're gonna pull both of them. So just trying to save the resources for that moment. Walkman says, "Hey, Q, how you feeling, man? What's going on, Walkman? Feeling better. A little bit behind in everything, but feeling better. How's everything going on your end? I meant to invite everyone to the guild, but like I said, I had felt sick toward the end of the stream, and that was completely distracting me, and then that progressed all throughout the weekend. So I do apologize. I think there was 3. It was only Walkman and then Jennifer, I believe. So I will try to do that today if you guys are on that server. But today's going to be a 3-hour stream just for those who are interested. Make sure nothing sneaks up on us. Here we go. Like I said, I did get behind on everything and being sick, so we'll try to catch up with that as much as possible. I probably have a good 8 hours worth of homework to knock out today. And that's before classes start. Let's go ahead and nuke this guy. I don't think we have all 100 skulls here. I wonder if I can put them on my toolbar. Oh, I can. That's nice. Okay. We have 65. We need just a few more. A lot of times, if you don't see them in the outer perimeter here, you can gather them in the inner perimeter or on the inside of the building, which we may have to do for this pull. Mom says, "I'm good, man. I might need to change rooms so I can join your guild." No, it's all good. It's all good. Like I said, I'll pop on. I'll try my best to remember to pop on after the stream, and I'll send out invites. I'll actually do that on stream just so we can keep that as part of the rhythm as often as possible. Let's go ahead and do that. Nope, let's kill that guy just because he's sitting there. Looks a little too calm. And we'll go ahead and drain health. I do want to pull this one. Normally I don't pull more than one at a time, but I'd rather... Oops. Let's make sure we're targeting that one. We are at 54%. And... oh, we got 2 on us, so... I wonder if I can summon Sam here. This is going to be a little close. So with that, let's get it down to 1 mob at a time. I'm not sure where that second mob came from, to be honest. But the Drain Soul, the Drain Life spell is very powerful for your Warlocks. That's pretty much a go-to. It almost helped us in what do I want to say? It almost saved us when we had 7 mobs, but one of those mobs was stopping our cast every single time, so I'm going to nuke this guy. So it just wasn't getting around that all too much. I'm going to see if I can hit him from here. Progress says, "Any idea, Kuhn, if there will be another Ironman race in October, November?" It's probably going to be between, what do you want to call it? November and December. I would prefer to do it in December just so that people who say are you know, taking a school break, whether it's in college or high school or whatever, can participate more freely than otherwise. But not yet. I need to check with Stone and Warcraft Challenges website and make sure we're not overlapping challenges, because the last thing I want to do is kind of split up and reduce participation in one of their challenges. So we'll do that. I try to find that out this week, hopefully. Xantra says, "Hey, what's going on, Xantra? Welcome back. I saw the death, or didn't actually see it, but I heard it on Discord, so I'm sorry about that. How's everything else going your way?" So we'll go ahead and pop these, and let's see if we can get out of here. There we go. Wrong button. And we're good. Walkman says, "Which realm queue?" Walkman, I am on Khadgar and Alaria. So for those who are interested, let me catch back up with chat. We'll talk about the guild here in a second. we have everything, so yeah, I think it's better to hearth actually. So while we're doing that, oh, Nell says, I hope you're doing well, Q. What's going on, Nell? Yep, I'm feeling a little bit better. Like I said, I'm behind on everything, so today's stream is going to be 3 hours, but I appreciate that. How are you doing, by the way? Has everything normalized on your end? The little one doing all right? But as far as the guild, that's what we were talking about. As far as the guild goes, what was I gonna say? It's an alt guild, so by no means do I expect or hope people pull in their mains just yet. I would say once we start building up characters and kind of building up a rhythm and system where everybody's online, we'll start doing timed runs together, whether it's Mythic Plus, maybe we'll do some PvP. But for the time being, it's just an alt guild, so if you guys are interested, the information is in the description, and we'll just try to build on that here pretty soon. If it starts to be that we have a lot of people spending a lot of time in it and starting to use that guild as a main, I'll pull in my mains, and we'll just kind of take it from there. But as of now, just an alt guild, just something to pass the time and kind of maintain the environment that we have on this channel within that kind of guild as well. Eric says, hey, we'll join in a bit, almost home. What's going on, Eric? Thank you for being a part of the stream. Good morning, by the way. Alright, so let's go ahead and see if we can work our way to the shore without aggroing too much. Since it is Ironman, we are going to finish up the race as much as possible. Normally I say don't pull mobs and run, but we're going to still finish this as if we had the rest of the month. So I'm going to pull mobs and run and see if we can do this as fast as we've been doing it so far. Just try to keep the spirit of the race up as much as possible. And Xander says 54 man, 58 last time, and I just don't think with work and how little time is left I can manage to 60. No, Xantric, it's all good. Like I said, I by no means expect to make it to 83 or 82, but just in the spirit of finishing out the month, I'm gonna keep racing. And if the Warlock ends up being that he's higher level than the Hunter by the end of the month, we'll continue with the Warlock just to finish him out. And if he dies, we'll switch back to the Hunter. Hopefully he doesn't, we make it to 110, and then we'll switch to the Hunter, and then make it to 110 again. And, just go from there. But, no, by no means, that's kind of why I've stopped advertising as much, since it is the last 3 days. A lot of the positions, say fastest to level 60, your highest level standing, and I think your fastest overall level 60 time is pretty much set. So that's why I haven't advertised it all too much. But if you're interested in doing a Ironman race in the future, I think we're going to try to do it hopefully in December. I'm hoping December, and we'll do Paladins. But I'm going to try to check with WoW challenges. If they're doing a Ironman challenge, sorry, not Ironman, but a Bloodthirsty challenge, we might end up doing ours anyway, just because those who are interested in doing Bloodthirsty aren't necessarily the same as doing Ironman. So we'll see what's going on. I don't want to, like I said, overlap and split the community up in between two challenges, if that makes any sense. But with that, let's go ahead and see if we can make it over there. Now says to a Xantrix. Very nice. Now says, I'm good. Bub seems to be fine. Early symptoms, so we'll see. Oh wow. Now, now when is he due? I thought you had said October, but now I'm not sure anymore. And I think at this point we do a little bit of a scenic tour of Desolate. So let me grab this flight path and pick up this guy as well. So with that, we'll fly around, and I'll put the Ironman challenge rules up just for those who are new to the channel. The Ironman rules are on your right. A more detailed list is in the description, so there's that for you if you want. I'll just throw them up while we're flying around and give me a chance to catch up with chat. Centric says, oh no, if only I can use my daughter here with me. I can't give the attention I need. It's all good, Xantric. Walkman says, just made a priest on Khadgar named Walkman. Wow, you were able to get that name, Walkman. Very nice. All right. So I will put Walkman, Khadgar. And like I said, at the end of the stream, I'll try to make it a habit, just in case people are on Khadgar, to pop over on that side, send out invites. That way everybody can join in. But yeah, with me being sick and still not fully recovered, but I can't get any further behind than I am right now. I have at least 8 hours worth of homework to knock out. Is that a rare? No. Okay. It looked a little different. I was hopeful. Ika says, yeah, Xantric, you go like a steam machine. Yeah, Xantric levels really fast. I don't know how you do it. I'm gonna have to sit down and dedicate some time to watching your previous streams, Xantric, because that is extremely fast leveling. Now says, dude, 10-10, but people think it'll be a little early. Oh wow, so it is soon then. Wow. You don't know if it's a boy or girl, right? You're saying you're kind of waiting on, waiting to be a surprise. I guess that means people have to buy what, those neutral colors, just in case it's a boy or girl. Now, do you have a preference now? Are you hoping for a boy, hoping for a girl, or just whatever? What says? Oh, yeah, it worked. Didn't think it would. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. That's seems like someone would have that name, Walkman, but I guess not. Congrats on that. It's always nice when you get the first name you want. Zach says, I fall down as I get tired, but I think now I'll keep pushing and then make stupid decisions. Yeah, Xantric, I do the same thing. I've noticed that if I do long streams, toward the end of those streams, and maybe that's case in point with our last death, I make less and less rational decisions, and you know, they're not even that significant as far as like what do you want to call it? You know, when I died at level 66, maybe if I was within that 3-hour bracket and wasn't as mentally fatigued, maybe if I was in that 3-hour bracket, I would have run out rather than into the camp. But you know, who's to say? It's one of those things that's, I think mental fatigue is the #1 killer for the Ironman challenge. Excuse me. But with that, let's go ahead and nuke this guy. We're good there. And I think we need to kill just about this whole little area here. Now it says Xantric is 3 hours faster leveling than me. Yeah, Xantric, that was the other thing, is kind of like Nell said, if it was like 45 minutes faster, I've been like, oh wow, that's fast, and you know, very nice doing that. But you know, Xantric's in the double digits of percentages faster, so it's pretty impressive. I'll have to sit down. I think you do a good bit in Eastern Kingdoms, right, Xantric? So maybe I'll have to get over my fear of Eastern Kingdoms and try that next time. Now says, don't mind, but Hobby would like another boy. Would he? Very nice. Yeah, I think, I don't know, if I had to pick, I don't know. That would be hard. I guess with a boy, you can always do, you know, your traditional throw the baseball, football kind of things, but I think I would lose my mind if I had a little girl, just because you want to always be protective of them. Alright, so with that, I'll nuke this guy, and then I think says is prioritizing quest objectives. That's probably one of my biggest tips, and one Macho Athena used is to say through the bush. Alright, did he bug out? There we go. Now, Xantric, what do you mean as far as through the bush? Like just not running on the roads, making sure you take the most efficient path, or? Alright, so with that, we'll grab these two items and move in this direction. Probably have to summon Sam here pretty soon. Xantric says Eastern Western Plaguelands Plagueland fear is fear-mongering. There's not really that bad of zones. Really? You say that. I guess if you don't kill the or don't do certain quests, it's not bad. I will not give Anderhall another attempt on an Ironman Challenger. That was way too close the first time I did it. Alright, there we go. And like that. Nuke this guy. Says, through the bushes, a beeline to ejection, don't swarm just straight. Okay, I got you. I figured so, but I wasn't sure if there was an alternate meaning there. There's 3 or 5 quests in Anderhall are oh, 3 or 5 quests in Anderhall are doable. See, I feel like I'm gonna want to try it now, and that's gonna kill me. We'll see. If it comes down to speed, I might have to work my way toward Eastern Kingdoms, because it seems like you, Keithy, Nell, everyone that's been on the Eastern Kingdoms has had a much shorter leveling time. Speaking of Keithy, I haven't seen him in a while. Is he still on number 7, or is it Keithy 8 now? We don't have the soul shard to summon Sam just yet, so we'll build that up real quick. I have to get in touch with Keithy. I haven't been able to talk to him in the past couple of days. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and summon Sam. Well, no, we're good. He's over 50%. Normally I'll try to summon him if he starts to get down on low health, or if he's less than, say, 80% on a mob, or a named mob, where we have to, you know, just kill one of them. But for normal killing like this, I generally let him get down to about, I don't know, maybe 30% before I start considering summoning another one. Just to kind of keep the, what do you want to call it, the rhythm of the leveling going as much as possible. Alright, so with that, we'll hit this guy up here. But you know, overall, I think I've had a lot of fun this month. I know toward the end people got a little bit tired, and there's that to be expected. It is a tough challenge, but it's been a lot of fun. I'm definitely looking forward to the next time we do this. With that, let's go ahead and load this guy up here. I think we're gonna have a lot more people join initially. I might put more of an effort to, say, put up a video maybe a week before. Maybe that's what I do. Maybe a week before the next challenge starts, I put up a small video just kind of announcing the rules and advertising for those who may want to join us. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to keep up with all those who are participating, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun though. Like I said, I've enjoyed this race quite a bit. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and kill this guy before he turns around. Such as, I used to hate in his videos. He was super arrogant, but he was a well-known WoW player. I don't know if I've seen any of his videos. You said Athena? Is he just, does he do the challenge, or is he just a, you know, an average, not average, but, you know, all-around content, Warcraft content kind of player? Alright, so with that, there we go. There's all that. And we need bones. Nope. I think we need more of these guys. What do you call them? Just normal Naga. Nika says, and there's a troll area in North City Plugins. Don't do quests there. Others are doable. Yeah, the troll location in the, what is it, Eastern Plaguelands. One of the rough things about those guys is that they are kind of, the mobs are generally kind of close together, but also, for me, I almost died due to the little graves. If you run over the graves in Eastern Plaguelands, more trolls come out of those, and that makes a bad situation worse pretty quick. We don't really need to kill the warriors or the sorceress, except for to just get it out of our area. And now it says, just accept your questing gun-centric. Very nice now. It says, watch my vids, and I have. Essentially, he is He was a PvPer, I think, but I think he's but back in vanilla. Oh, okay, so he's way back there. Is he doing private servers now, or is he just? Oh, wow, 33 already. Nice. I'll take that. That's what, less than an hour and a half in the stream and 3 levels, so I'll take that. That's not bad at all. Really didn't need to kill this guy, but figured I would anyway. He doesn't drop any of the loot we need. These guys drop. Oops, let's go ahead and nuke this one. We're just looking for the normal Naga, that way we can grab their what do we need? Their bones. There we go. He says, yes, Q, that's the area I mean. Yeah, that one did almost kill me, and I think in combination with that and the Scarlet Monastery like area, I forget what you call those guys, but between those two areas I had enough of Eastern Plaguelands for the rest of my life. But I think maybe, I don't know, I'd have to look at the what do you want to call it, the Dangerous Quest spreadsheet, just to get an idea. I think one of the things that allowed me to survive the first time so well and get up to level 85 is one, I kind of kept it down to 3-hour sessions, so I wasn't as fatigued, but also I was a lot more cautious, I think. That and a little bit lucky as well. There's a lot of stuff that we kind of haphazardly did and just lucked out with the decision-making process. But then there's others, other aspects that saved us and allowed us to get to level 85. And we need one more bone here. Only says a similar dog quest ranges from trivial to dangerous depending on how close the ghost spawns to each other. Yeah, you know what? I did remember doing that, and I want to say it was the last piece that I grabbed, and I guess it doesn't help too much because you can grab them in any order, but I want to say the last piece I grabbed, there was like 3 mobs that popped up. As a hunter, it was not too much of a big deal to get out of it, but as a warlock, I can see that being a huge pain. So let's see if we can work our way around here. Only says the Ghost Wolf has a nasty bleed, pet classes, and dwarves counter that pretty well. Ika says Tyr's Hand was another one. I don't remember Tyr's Hand. I'm gonna have to look that one up. I think our pathway is right here. That says Tina Wins is his channel. Okay, does he still upload videos, or is that something he hasn't done for a long time? So with that, I think we're going to get our Naga disguise here shortly. Yep, there it is. So we'll put that on and make our way over there. Normally, we would pop it on now and just make our way in that direction, but the Naga does move pretty slow on land, so we'll just run down to the bottom real quick, and it does allow us to skip combat though, so that might be faster overall. There we go. We'll do it that way. Essentially, yep, I skipped Pamela's doll that claimed an Ironman of mine. I was wondering who it was that I saw that died Xantric. Yeah, the doll quest I think would be pretty tough unless you could manage. I don't know if they have a silence or not, but unless you could manage to sit there and drain soul or drain life off of one of them until one of them died. But yeah, I think that one was pretty tough to survive overall. It only says there's even an undead Fell Reaper type mob in Northeast Eastern Plaguelands. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Only the it looks like kind of like one of these giant guys, I think, in this area. But yep, that guy he actually killed a guy the first time I was there. He killed a guy that was in BOAs, I believe. Alright, so this is a a killer quest here. I think it's given Minge quite a bit of a hard time, and maybe a couple other people, where you have to go through and kill the servants of Neptulon. As a hunter, or with a hunter pet, should I say, we can kill them semi-quickly. I think we only have to drop the suit twice, and then we can jump back up, you know, continue killing these little elementals here. However, as a Warlock, and how weak the Warlock pet is, it looks like it's one of those things where we have to pop out of our suit every single time. Also, we want to keep an eye out for the sharks. So there is a shark. There we go. Right. Mark our first one with the skull, I suppose. And we'll throw a trap on this guy. There is a max range and a min range. So you just want to make sure that you're not in a situation. We'll move over here. You definitely don't want to be tanking them. So with that, let's go ahead and pop out of the suit. And then resummon Sam. And this is just the process that we have to repeat for this quest. Jennifer says, "Good morning, peeps. Sorry I'm late. Wasn't feeling so hot." I can completely relate to that, Jennifer. Not a problem. Welcome back to the stream, by the way. How's your morning going? Says, "Glad you're feeling better, Kuhn." Thank you, Jennifer. Me too. We are going to keep it down. Actually, let me catch back up here. He says, "I've done the mixed continents with the Warlock. Fairless, Failwood, and Winter Spring have good XP." Yeah, Fairless I'm looking forward to getting to, just because that one, like I said, does have pretty decent XP. But no, going back to Jennifer's comment, yeah, I am a lot behind in everything. One of those things being the Ironman challenge, and another one being the schoolwork. So we're gonna keep it at about a 3-hour stream today, and then whoops, stay away from the shark. Yeah, we'll keep it at a 3-hour stream today, and then we'll try to see if we can squeeze in an extended stream or something like that in the near future. Oops, Sam's at 100% health. That's odd. I'm not sure how or why that happened. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and see if we can find another servant without aggroing a bunch of things. There we go. Yeah, these guys kill the Naga in the area pretty quick, so it's one of those things you have to watch out as much as possible. My worst fear when it comes to these guys sometimes is that, you know, you'll start combat with them and then they'll reset, and then you spent some of your cooldowns already, so I think we should be able to nuke this guy here. This is not good. Alright, so with that, I didn't realize we'd lost Sam. So with that, let's go ahead and pop out. We're going to find a safe spot and then pop out, actually. Just to avoid amateur hour as much as possible. Normally I wouldn't spend so much time avoiding these quests, but these can be fairly dangerous fairly quickly, so we'll just kind of take them as serious as possible. Definitely don't want to die out here to these things again. But we do have 4 or 5, so we're good there. And that'll give me a chance to catch up with chat here. And we have the rules up still, so let me pull those down. Jesus Christ. Those have been up for what? 10 minutes? 15 minutes now? And Patrick says, "Hi Q, when did you die?" What's going on, Patrick? Welcome back. How's your weekend? You know what? We can't attack with that thing. That's odd. Okay. So we'll do that. We died at level 66. I think it was last week, actually. Maybe around Wednesday or Thursday. So let's resummon Sam here. So yes, we've gone through. We've given the what was it? What was our first class? A Worgen. Nice suit up here. We're giving a Worgen a shot. We died at level 27. Then we gave a Gnome a shot. Died at level 42, I believe. 42 or 45. Then we gave the human a shot. Got to level 66, and now we are given a dwarf. So we're just kind of going through the whole alliance string here. And trying to find a... Oh, that's a shark. So I'm hoping he turns around fairly soon. I was going to grab that guy, but... This is kind of why this area is a little bit slow. We're doing one quest at a time, and then we have quests that involve water, so that just kind of slows everything down in and of itself. Alright. So as long as he maintains that speed, we should be alright. We'll just go ahead and see if we can unload on this guy. Jeff says, I was there. Oops. Alright, there we go. So let's head back this way. Jeff says, I was there yesterday with my heirloom lock. I saw a BOA pally annihilated by it because he was dumb enough to challenge it. Yeah, some of those mobs in Eastern Plaguelands can be pretty rough. Let's avoid that guy. Nope, can't avoid him. There we go. And let's see. Now it says, welcome back, Jennifer. Hope you're okay. Let's go ahead and... So are you feeling better now, Jennifer? Or you still kind of feeling under the weather, by the way? Then she says, Badlands, Searing Gorge are so spread out that they probably slow my time. One of the quest objectives very spread out by highly dense mobs. Yeah, like I said, I think I'm gonna stay. What do you want to call it? Let me get back in the suit here. That way we don't kill ourselves. I think I'm gonna stay on Kalimdor for the Alliance side, and then go to Eastern Kingdoms on the Horde side, and we'll do Horde once we get at least one character up to 110. I might do that alternatively. Just to kind of mix it up more. We'll do an Alliance Hunter, see if we can get him up to 110, and then turn around and do a Horde. It seems like that would give it a little bit more diversity, I think. Alright, so with that, we do have this quest out here. Oh yeah, we need to break the stones up. That's right. I forgot about that. Alright, so with that, let's see if we can do that real quick. And let's see. Jennifer says that now thanks, I'm feeling better, but allergies, man. Oh, okay. Yeah, the allergies. Yeah, the girlfriend has allergies from time to time, and they can... I think I've aggroed all the lobsters in the area. So once they hit you... I was going to say once they hit you, your suit breaks, but... I think at this point it's a matter of he hit Sam first. Alright, there we go. So we'll go ahead and res Sam just in case we have to abandon him for when a shark comes by. And there we go. So let's see here. So the sharks for the most part stay semi-close to the surface, so once we get down pretty low where we are blowing up all these little mounds, we should be okay for the most part. I haven't actually ever run into a shark, and I would prefer not to start today, but for the most part these things usually stay near the surface. Alright, so there's nothing here. It's the ones that glow that you want to pick up. The rest of them are going to be gray. So I'm going to see if we can break these before. Yeah, so if we pick up that one, it's not glowing, and we'll get a gray item. So, whoa. Alright, so we'll let the shark go by. So there's our second one there. And we have another mound over here. With that, let's go ahead and break this up. So like I said, if it's kind of highlighted in a white outline, you want to grab that one more so than the other ones. And then look for more. Most of your little mounds like this are going to be near the ruins. I've seen a couple times outside of that area, but for the most part, this is where they hang out. And let's see if we can take a look in here real quick. I don't see any there. There's another mound over there. But yeah, overall, let's go ahead and blow this up real quick before we get into that. Yeah, Jennifer, I think you only and Walkman were wanting a guild invite last time I was on, and then toward the end of the stream I was starting to get a little sick, so I didn't log on to that side. So I want to try to remember after every stream, maybe going forward, I'll log on to the Khadgar server and send out invites for anyone that's interested. I think I did miss you, like I said, you and 2 other people yesterday. Not necessarily yesterday. The excuse me. Saturday. There we go. If I can think. All right. So with that, still don't see. I think we only have 3 at the moment. Usually it's harder to find the ancient rubble, but now it's almost more difficult to, what do we call it, find the piece that's going to contribute to the quest. That's odd. I've never had it work this way before. Not too big of a deal. We'll just kind of keep looking as much as possible. There's shark number 2. So we'll stay down low just to avoid aggravating him. But yeah, like I said, normally this is a fairly quick quest, but for some odd reason today it seems to be a little bit slower than it normally is. Maybe they feel that we've been leveling too fast previously. Alright, so with that, we'll just kind of keep glancing around here. Alright, we'll take a deeper dive and see if anything's in this area. Normally like I said, the little mounds are near the, I'm gonna say it. Heck. Yep, that's thank you there, Xantric. Let's go ahead and fix that. That's easy enough. Xantric, I think maybe they were all oops, I saw a shadow. Just make sure there's not a shark leveling over me here. There we go. Alright, so with that, we'll go ahead and take care of this real quick. And I want to say there's a shark that comes in this direction, so we're going to put our heads on a swivel here as much as possible. Then, like you said, did you get your BlizzCon mount yet, Kieran? It's too bad there's no special pets this year. Yeah, no, I haven't got the mount yet. That's one of the things. I haven't even been online at all since this past weekend. So that's probably something I need to put on my agenda for today. I'm really surprised at how hard it is to find more of these mounds. That's crazy. Alright, so let's keep looking here. But yeah, it is. I think everybody's been more or less happy with the mounts. They're kind of big, and you kind of easily notice them. So I know a lot of people prefer, say, mounts over pets, or vice versa. But it looks like it's only, like you said, mounts this year. Man, we are having a really bad luck with these tablets here. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and let's see if we can. Maybe to change it down to 3. Tablet fragment. Oh, there we go. So maybe we picked up one along the way. Okay. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and take that back to this guy. Now that we're moving our way back to this guy, we need to fly back to, what do you want to call it? The Nigel's Point. Let's see. Yeah, we want to fly back to Nigel's Point and turn in that quest, because the follow-up is also geared to kill mobs out in this direction. So changing the order up in the way that we normally do it, but I don't think that's too big of a deal for this case. You do want to kind of keep your eye open for the rare crab that walks by here. He does have a pretty wide patrol path, so I'm not all too interested in farming and hunting him down, but he is out here, so if you do see him, oh, there we go, that's nice. Let's see if we can do this without aggravating more than we want to. I don't see any sort. Okay, we'll do that. We'll open up for the Chaos Bolt. I was hoping we would. There we go. See if we can get him without killing ourselves here. And there we go. Not bad. So with that, we'll mount up on the Water Strider, which again, all mounts are allowed. So whether it's a Water Strider, the Airland mount, or whatever else it is allowed. Let's go ahead and see if we can grind our way back on the land without aggroing too much here. Just says, I'm a happy camper. I got my Swift Brewfest round on my main yesterday. Very nice. Now I think you and Nikki were actually farming the transmog stuff. Did you get everything you wanted? I found out, when was it? Late last week, I believe, that for some odd reason, not all of the transmog gear is account bound. So on one character, let's go ahead and void that guy. For oddly enough, on one character, it'll pop up, like on the character that you've purchased that item on, it'll pop up, but it won't pop up on your other character. So I'm kind of hoping they fix that in the future. It seems that that's an unnecessary time sink. You know, if, let's say for example, each gear piece costs 200 Brewfest tokens. If it happens that you need 7 pieces and it takes you however long, I don't understand why they wouldn't make the transmog account bound. Alright, so let's go ahead and take care of this guy. Of course. So we evaded. So we'll let him take off. And we'll stay in combat until he resets, which looks like he just did. So we'll turn this in. Here says, nope, not enough time to get 400 coins, not enough to spend 200 to get the mount and the club membership. Yeah, and that's something I don't understand, Jennifer, is why they wouldn't allow the transmog to be acquired on one toon. That doesn't make sense to me that they would expect people to farm the transmog and say all their toons. Niagara's Point. Yep, we'll go ahead and turn that quest in. Jennifer says maybe next year. Maybe so. Like I said, I didn't farm anything after I learned the fact that the transmog isn't account wide. I just kind of lost interest. I don't want to. I have no interest in doing the Brewfest 16 times or, you know, however many times I want the transmog on various characters. So hopefully they change that here in the near future. I don't understand why they would. Not to be, what are you gonna call it? Not to be too negative, but it seems like a cheap tactic to create content is to make it extremely and unnecessarily repetitive, whereas all your other transmog gear is, you know, account bound for the most part. You know, you have your level requirements, but for the most part, all your other gear is pretty account bound for them, generally speaking. Eric says, I'm back. What I missed, Eric, we started at level 30 and we are now 33. So we still have a good bit of stream to go. So I think one of the things we were talking about, for those that are just kind of tuning in or are new to the stream, normally we do a 3-hour stream, and that's going to be the case today. And being sick, I did get behind in a lot of other aspects. So one of those being the schoolwork. So I need to catch back up on that. So I'm probably a good 8 hours worth of classwork behind at the moment. So I need to get caught up before this afternoon's class. And let's see. We'll work our way back in that direction. But we are close to 34 at the moment. How was your weekend, Eric? Jennifer says, I'm just happy to have gotten my RAM. I got the Kodo my first year and have been trying for the RAM ever since. Yeah, I do have the RAM and I do have the Kodo now. Kind of like you, I went through a long dry spell where I didn't, what do you want to call it? I didn't have the Kodo, I think it was. I think I had the RAM, but I didn't have the Kodo. But, I have them both now. There's only 2 mounts that are associated with the Brewfest, right? Or is there a third one? I think there's 2. Now I'm second guessing myself. I don't know, I have to double check now. I thought there was 2. Eric says, I was wondering where you had gone. My weekend was good, and I guess yours wasn't. Yeah, I was a little sick on my end, so I didn't pop into YouTube or Warcraft for probably since Saturday. So let's go ahead and we have to kill a bunch of Naga in the water over on this side, as well as kill the end guy over there. So we'll do that real quick. We are fresh out of Naga suits, so we're gonna have to grind our way across here. And Jennifer says only 2. Okay, I do have both then. I thought for a second there was a third one. But yeah, I'm hoping. I'm kind of a big transmog farmer myself. I do enjoy that kind of content, but not to the point where I want to do it 5 or 6 times just because it's not account bound. To me, that doesn't make any sense. So hopefully they upgrade that sooner than later. That was kind of what I ran into when during the summer festival. Like if you purchase the, I guess the way I discovered it is that I would go through and I would purchase, say, the headpiece on my DK, and then I'd go through and purchase the shoulders on my warrior. And come to find out, the shoulders were only available on the warrior. I couldn't use them on any other class, so that was a little disappointing. Hopefully, like I said, in the future they fix that, but hopefully they're not kind of relying on that tactic to, what do you want to call it, create content. Hopefully it's more so just a bug on their end. I will catch up with chat as soon as I've made it across the island here, or across the water. I think there's a shark that excuse me, runs pretty close to the surface in this area, so just trying to watch out for him. I've actually never aggroed a shark, so I don't know if they actually hit like trucks or not, but that one's actually swimming on the surface. I think he got just out of our range, so we'll see if we can. That was odd. I think he just disappeared altogether. Oh, you know what? I think this area is phased, that's why. Alright, that makes sense. Alright, so we'll knock out this quest, and then we'll see if we can find this guy's satchel. Eric says, my favorite thing to do is opening your weekly Mythic Plus chest in your main, and let's pray I get something good. You know what? I didn't do the Mythic Plus. Normally I try to do that on the weekend now, but I had completely missed that, so I think my chest is empty. I'm going to have to go do some Mythic Pluses here maybe this weekend. Maybe I'll do it this weekend. Alright, so with that, for this quest, sorry for those that are getting a repeat, but as that is kind of the nature of the stream, or streaming in general. But for this guy, you do want to stand on top of him as much as possible. What's going to happen is if he's too far away, like he is now, I think, he's not going to melee, and melee probably over the course of killing this mob, however long it takes, 30 seconds, just the passive melee attacks do probably half your damage. So this is one of those mobs where you do want to stand on top of as much as possible. So we'll mount up here and turn this in real quick. And with that, pretty much done with this area other than turning this quest in and then killing these Naga until the satchel drops. Whoever says there's an achievement that requires 3 pieces of Brewfest clothing and dancing and dollars. That's what I was trying for. I got the dress, so Alright, I like the dress, so I got it. Let's see. Got a 935 leggings on my main. Not bad. That's not bad at all. I was trying to kill the boss this morning, but I went into one of the portals and there was literally nobody for like 30 minutes. And I actually had to exit the portal, so I'm hoping I didn't bug myself out. But yeah, I couldn't get the 930 or 940 gear to drop. I think it's 930. I think it is. So at this point, we are going to buff ourselves up with a breath, and hopefully we don't come out of this phase location with a shark on top of us. I think we're good. Okay. Alright, so with that, we'll see how good our luck is with getting the satchel. Looks like it's... Sometimes it can take a long time. For some odd reason, it's been on this Warlock more than any other that we've had to grind or you know, look around more so than others. And let's see. Real Positive Real, welcome back. Says Who King in chat. Good morning. What's going on, Real? I haven't seen you in a little while. I actually haven't seen a lot of people in a little while, just because of being sick. Then Robert says, dude, go to the custom group finder. That's not a bad idea, actually. I didn't know. I thought the little portal was instantized, if that's a word. So that being said, it's probably not a bad idea. I was thinking that we were kind of in an instantized group, so that the group finder wouldn't work within that, but I guess I never gave that a shot, so I'll probably do that next time. It's not a bad idea at all, actually. Eric says, hey, they're Real Positive, and Eric, let's go ahead. We don't have the satchel just yet. These guys, though, they do respawn pretty quick, so we'll just go back and forth here. That's our third shark, but he's way over there. And it says, nope, group finder works wonders, my man. Alright, I'll have to do that then, because, yeah, that was... I just kind of let him sit there. Oh, there we go. I just kind of let him sit there in the instance and nothing popped through there, so... Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. So if you guys want to see something semi-creepy, there's a spider swimming. I discovered this here recently. I think we're outside of area, but they did a pretty good job with the animation. I don't know if that's how a spider actually swims, but thought they did a fairly well job with the animation of it. Alright, so with that, we'll pop back on the water. Ooh, fatigue. Let's get out of that. Wouldn't that be a fun way to die? Alright, so let's go ahead and pop back on the top and turn this quest in. You know what? Hearthstone is up, so we'll go ahead and do that. That'll work out perfect. Real says that stuff's... I'm glad Real Positive says yeah, working a bit busy, glad you feel better. Well, thank you, Real. Yeah, I am way behind on everything pretty much, so I need to timestamp videos. I need to do a lot on my YouTube, but I also have about 8 hours worth of work to do on my schoolwork, so hopefully by the end of this week I'm all caught up and we're good to go. Real says that's the stuff of nightmares. It is a little bit. It says when you play Undead Hunter, you get the spider, so I'm familiar with it. Oh, that's right, the spider pet. They did, like I said, they do a pretty good job with the animations. All right, so with that, we can't use either one, so we'll grab the more expensive one and fly back to that area and then turn that quest in. All right, so with that, we'll land there. Excuse me. Oh my god, spider swimming is amazing. So close to mine. Yeah, the like I said, I think they did a pretty good job. I was hoping that they could make maybe in the future make stuff a progressive gold sync, you know what I mean? Like for example, what do you want to call it? Have a spider and then you know, your spider costs 2 million gold, and then maybe with another 2 million gold, give it the armor similar to what's in Emerald Nightmare, or you know, kind of add progressive time sinks to your, not time sinks, progressive gold sinks to your gold sink to a certain extent. Seems like that would be pretty neat, just something to passively spend your time on. Alright, so with that, we're level 34 and heading toward the middle of Desolus. Let's see. Trying to figure out what our progression is throughout Desolus at the moment. So the quest, Kalimdor, and Desolus. So we're about halfway through. Not bad. That's usually what I run into. Desolus can take a long time if you kind of don't push yourself or rush through it. Desolus is one of the zones that can take quite a bit of time, and it takes quite a bit even if you are pushing yourself. So, plus the fact that it's a desert isn't one of my favorite zones, but it is necessary, so we'll kind of knock our way through it here. And Jennifer says, because you have the underwater quest, yeah, with the, I guess that, like you're saying, in combination with the underwater quest and the fact that the undead get the spiders is pretty cool animation. Let me go ahead and think we will take a right up here. Oops. We'll just try to slip by this guy without aggroing him too much. You do want to stay kind of clear away from the enraged Kodos. I think those guys can hit pretty hard. And as a Warlock, you just don't have too much of a chance to outrun it. And Robert says, that'd be pretty annoying. About the gold sink. Yeah, you know, just kind of maybe something progressive. And I don't know, maybe with gold farmers it kind of sets you up as far as giving you something to continue to strive for in a certain extent. So let's see. And Moot says, hope someone comes and ganks you all. Unfortunately for them, we are on a PvE server, so we are safe from that for the most part. The PvE aspect is challenging enough, so we haven't tried anything as far as PvP goes. Like I said, I think if anyone did try to do PvP on a streaming basis, I would say pretty impossible for the most part. Eric says, why would you want us to get ganked? Yeah, that's kind of the question I had, to be honest. Let's see, with that. So, Moot. That's a good question. Why would you want us to get ganked? Seems kind of rough. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and take care of that. Real says, well, I'll have to get ready for work. I'll be tuning in once I get to the office. Alright, Real. You have a great rest of the day, and you have a good day at work as well. Alright, so as normal, we're going to go in this direction. I guess a little bit more eastward, I believe. Try to stay away from these guys, and then we're going to have a quest out here to pick up, what do you want to call it? 3 aged or ancient or aged Kodos. I can't remember how it went. But try to, as much as possible, you want to clear out this area first and then do that quest, just because that gives these mobs time to respawn. And hopefully we don't run into too many issues as far as waiting for enraged Kodos to come back around, because we had a serious problem with finding those last time. Alright, so with that, go ahead and pick up these 2 plants. And try to keep up with chat here. Jeff says, it kind of annoys me that all but maybe one of the Talbook mounts all seem to be reputation based. Like the Talbooks. You know what? Talbooks is one of those mounts for me. I could take it or leave it. It's just never been not to say that they're bad looking, but never been a big fan of them. But at the same time, they're definitely not the worst looking mounts we have. I think by far the ugliest mount we have available is the camel, which I think the argument could be made that's about the ugliest creature you'll see in real life, but yeah, those things are pretty hideous. And Robert says, keep up the vids, man, off the bed. See you next time. Alright, Robert, you have a great rest of the day. Like I said, we'll be here for quite some time, so you have a good rest of the night. With these mobs, sometimes the temptation is to go and kill the little ones that spawn off of it. You don't really have to. As soon as you kill the main guy, they do despawn, so there is that. Just want to be able to upgrade my train silver pelt. You know, that wouldn't be a bad idea as far as like gold sinks, upgrading your mounts to say whatever they are to armored ones or something like that. That wouldn't be bad at all, I don't think, generally speaking. Just kind of have the price reflective of maybe the difficulty in getting the mount, or really whatever. But Jennifer says no, has the camel mount. No, has the camel mount yet. Again, rep. Yeah, I think there's one that can drop. I think it's based on achievement or archaeology in Oldham. But I haven't gotten that one yet. I think that one has a little bit of RNG to play, but I haven't been really inspired to get an extra camel. Alright, so let's see. We need aged or ancient, I believe, is the terminology. Yep, aged or ancient. So last time these things were kind of hard to come across as well. That one's recovering, that one's dying, that one's dying. Alright, perfect, that one's aged. So we'll get it to follow us. There says, well, I mean, it's a garrison mount from stable, so why shouldn't we be able to? Wait a minute. Which one's from the stables? Is the camel from the stables? I thought the camel was from a faction. Now I might have to look at that. And Swink says, just get off work. Need a shower. What level are you, mate? What's going on, Swink? Welcome back. We are level 34. All of about 10% in. And I'm trying to make sure I don't lose the Kodo here. Just when you turn it in, make sure you don't forget to click on it, just so that you can inspect it. There's been a couple times where I've ran away and didn't inspect the thing, so. And then let's see. Oh, you're talking about a silver pelt. Okay, I got you. Thought you were still talking about the camel there. Alright, so with that, we need this little thing, which says the new mount from Mythic Entourage is ugly. I forgot its name. The mount is too grotesque. Oh, you know which one is that? The one with the many faces? I actually like that mount. I've been trying to excuse me, I've been wanting to get that one. There is a mob that drops that in Argus, right? Because that's the one I've been hoping to get here pretty soon. If it's in Mythic Entourage, I might not focus on it too much. Alright, so let's go ahead and we need another 5 of these things? Yeah. Plus another quite a few of these aged Kodos. It seems like sometimes they're easy to find and they're all on the end of the graveyard, but other times, like this time as well as last time, it's pretty hard to find them without having to kill a whole fleet of mobs. So we'll grab the aged one first, I guess. See if we can sneak over there. Since I'm a dwarf, I'm getting stuck on everything. There we go. And Amoot says yes. I actually like that one, Amoot. It's one of my favorite ones for Legion anyway. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and escape the graveyard here. I was gonna run between the bird and the horde place, but I just don't want to get one-shotted or spotted by a guard, so we'll just kind of keep our distance as much as possible here. And I guess we'll grab this before it despawns. Nope, that's an enraged Kodo. We'll not grab that at the moment. Jeff says those many face dogs. But no thanks. Oh man, I'm in the minority here. I like them. I thought I think, what is it? What's the lore behind those things? It's I think the emergence of Draenei over the 10-20,000 years of torture or something like that. I kind of like them. I think they go good with the DK. Alright, so we did see an H Kodo, so I'm going to grab him before he gets too far away. There we go. Jennifer says, I did manage to get the Talbot from the drop on the ring out. Yep, I didn't get that one. The girlfriend got that one. She's managed to get, I think, 4 mounts to drop. I don't know what the total number is, but there we go. But she's managed to get 4, and the Talbot was one of them. I haven't seen the first one yet, so I take that back. I did get an egg to drop, and that egg did turn into a mana ray. So I guess if you count that, I did get 1 so far. Alright, so with that, alright, and then we'll turn this in, and hopefully some of these things have respawned. So we'll go grab those real quick. Jennifer says, some things can cause a fear debuff when you're fighting them as a hassle. Yeah, the fighting them is a pain. There's no doubt about that. The I think the rare spawn where it jumps up, stuns you, and then casts a fear while you're stunned. Yeah, it is a little bit of a pain to deal with. There's no lying about that. Alright, so with that, let's see if we can. We need what? 4 more plants. Or no, we need to gather 4 more plants and then kill 1 more lasher here. There we go. We'll take this guy out. Hopefully we don't pull the enraged Kodo. And we did. Of course. So we're just going to see if we can outrun them. Let's see how far the range is for these guys. There we go. Alright, so normally Kodos move pretty slow, so that wasn't all too stressful, to be honest. We'll go ahead and see if we can move in this direction though. Except when they enrage. I don't know why I all of a sudden dismounted there. That's weird. But with that, let's see if we can find 4 more of these little plants to pick up. And there's 1. We might have to pick them up on the other side, so we'll do that real quick. Because they appear on this side of the camp as well, which is where we have to go to fill up the leeches off of the other Kodos. Or not Kodos, but thunder lizards. There we go. There says 1 egg hatched a mount, 1 a pet, and a 3rd is still incubating. Yeah, I think I've gotten 1 pet and 1 mount so far, and trying to think. I think I have 2 more in my bag. It is kind of nice that they're not unique, so you can only, it's not limited to say 1 per bag. I'd probably get more quicker if I leveled some of my ults out there, but it's just the hassle of leveling an ult, especially when your main's as undergeared as mine is. Alright, so with that, we'll drain this life a little bit. And we need to click on this guy. I'm going to... Yeah, I'll go ahead and kill him, just in case he doesn't... Or just to prevent him from sneaking up on us. Austin says, I haven't come across a single mount. Are they RNG? I still need to do the riddle mount. Haven't heard. I've heard it's fun. Yeah, the The riddle mount I've heard is fun, but you have to do it all within a week. I haven't done that one either. But yeah, as far as the Argus mounts, I think it's pretty much all RNG at that point, which is what Jennifer says as well. It says, which riddle mount, the worm or the loose nightmare? I still need to get both. So let's go ahead and throw this over here. So maybe I have quite a bit of afternoon content as far as that goes. When we start that, that's a good idea. I thought it'd be decent to or feasible to start it in October, but as far as right now, I can't even give it a feasibility check this week, just because being sick actually put me behind as far as working around the house and getting that stuff done. So we'll see. We'll see how it actually works out as far as afternoon content. Alright, so with that, we're good there. Let's pick this up real quick. And let's go ahead and get this guy off. Austin says, shoot. I'm a super huge fan of RNG. I need to do both. Yeah, as far as the RNG goes, like I said, it's almost 100%, because you know, the girlfriend's gotten 4 so far, but I only have the 1 from the egg. I haven't had any, let's say, drop from Mob specifically. It says the worm's a bit of a hassle, but it's worth it. The maze at the end of the nightmare is time consuming. I've heard that as well. I've seen, like, on Reddit, there's, you know, people who've put up their sheets of paper where they keep track of what they're doing. I heard it is pretty time consuming but fun. So we'll eventually give it a shot. I might stream that just to see if it's something someone would be interested in. But I heard that can take quite a bit of time if you're not if you've never done it before, or you know, don't know necessarily what to do. So I'll try to watch a couple videos. If I do decide to stream it, I'll probably watch a couple videos beforehand. That way it's not a time sink of running in circles. And with that, we are at 6, I think. Yep, 6 of 10. We have all of the other things we need, I think. There we go. Except for the thunderstorm guys, the stormwalkers. Alright, so with that, let's throw this up. Sometimes these things bug out and you don't get a leech at the end. I haven't had any of those, I haven't had an issue with that this time around. But the last couple of locks that we've had up here is actually, they've had that, but it looks like we should be good to go with this one. Alright, we're good there. It says 3.5 hours of my time, and the maze is running around in circles looking for runes and orbs. I'm gonna have to look that up. It seems like it'd be pretty fun, just with the idea of going back and forth like that. I heard it's been the hardest one thus far, so that ought to be, like I said, pretty fun to mess with. Alright, so let's go ahead and see if we can find one more here. And then we'll just push straight into the stormwalkers. Alright, so with that, but I think I'm going to make it a priority this time to see if I can do some level of raiding on Taurus. I think that's how you say it. Previously, I've missed all of Tomb of Sargeras. I did raid Nighthold, but just haven't had a chance to do Tomb of Sargeras, so maybe Taurus will be pretty good to us. I should be close to, say, 940 by the time it comes out. So hopefully that'll put us in a good position to do heroic content. It's sooner than later. So this is going to be number 3. Jeff says, having fun with the old raids dungeons to get the page for the Riddler's Mount was a hassle. I guess the good thing about that is if you haven't done it on a you don't have a lot of transmog for another class or proficiency, that would be a good way to double up on being more efficient, but yeah, as far as running around, not too much of a fan of it myself. Aimlessly running around, but try to make it as make my time as efficient as possible, if that makes any sense. Here says the Taurus drops 2 mounts. I want. Which one's that? Because I thought Taurus has one of those being the mini face mounts. I thought that they did drop that. That might be only for Mythic though. Mook says, I like the Sargeras hound mounts, not multi-faced ones. The hound mounts are pretty nice. Those aren't too bad. The, what do you want to call them? Which is the one that drops off? Is the hound mount the one that drops off Mythic to Sargeras? Or is that just a random drop? I'll have to look that up. Like I said, I haven't stepped a foot outside. Well, no, I take that back. I did do one run where we got all of Kill Jaden, I think. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and turn this in real quick. Alright, so that's done there. And we'll move toward these guys. I think here pretty soon we're going to have to help the centaurs out, but maybe not quite yet. I think we have to plant some plants first, as well as feed the enraged Kodos. So we'll see where that leads us. And same. I can't believe you guys don't like the mini face mount. Man, I like it. Let's see. Snare seeds planted, and then enraged Kodos. Okay. So let's go plant the seeds first, since they are on this side, I believe, right? Nope, this side. What I need to do, I might do it by this weekend, is write down which rare mobs drop the pets and mounts, and just start focusing on farming those guys. Previously, I've just been killing all the rares I can to get the Veiled Argonite, but starting to get to a point where the Veiled Argonite's having diminishing returns. So you can, for 650 Veiled Argonite, you can get a 9-10 piece of, whether it's a relic or a trinket or any other sort of gear piece. I do have all the ones at 9-10, so at this point it's kind of a game to get them up to, say, what do you want to call it? Get them to prop. There we go. So it has a little bit more diminishing returns, so I'm not focusing on it all too much, but I might focus more so on specific rares at this point in time. Eric says that Antoine Charhound from Montrose, I need it in my life. Alright, I'm gonna have to look that up. Is that what it's called, Charhound? Alright, let me see. Let's take a brief second. We're not in a position to worry about winning, so we'll take a moment to take a look at it. Charmount here. Charhound. Oh wow. Yeah, that is nice. Yeah, Eric, I think I'm with you on that one. That's pretty nice. And it says, let's see. I think it's from what, Mythic? Wow, that is nice. And Jennifer says, yeah, the Charhound is nice. And now, what is the mini face dog called? I'm gonna look that up, because I don't know if there's one or two of them now, because it sounds like there might be one from Taurus, but I thought there was one that dropped from a rare spawn as well. There we go. So that's 2 of... No, sorry, that's 3 of 5. Let's go ahead and nuke this guy then. Says, I like the purple one better. Jennifer, what's the purple one called? Are they both considered charhounds? Alright, so we're looking. Just because we have the time to spare. No, I think it's just this one. There it says, yes, behind her got a 925 wrist. Very nice. I was able to get a 925 relic the other day, so I just need to upgrade the other two here shortly. I might focus on that right. Oops, let's go ahead and take care of him. The, what do you want to call it? The 910 gear does have a decent chance to proc, in my opinion. I would say maybe 1 in 3 pieces. Alright, so with that, it says look up in Taurus. But I can't remember the name. Alright, let me see if I can pop that up. And Taurus. Oh, okay. Oh, that was nice. Man, they did a lot of work on this. That's pretty impressive. They are going to be hard pressed to, what do you want to call it? To outdo themselves this next expansion. They did a really good job, especially with, of course, the aesthetics team, whether it's landscapes or pets, usually do a pretty good job. Texan says, hi, Coral. What's going on? Good morning. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream, by the way. We are doing the Ironman challenge. It is getting toward the end of the month, so we're kind of taking a more relaxed atmosphere. So we're looking at all the mounts we want. Yeah, the Entoran Charhounds look pretty cool, actually. Now I want one. But I'm trying to remember what the mini-faced dog is called. Oops, let's go ahead and pick up this quest real quick. I think we have to start freeing the little centaur guys. Alright, so with that, we'll talk to him. I think he's going to give us 2 quests. Yeah, he does. There we go. So for this next part, like I said, we ran out of enraged Kodos pretty quick last time, and they were a huge bottleneck for us. So I think what we'll do is we'll just drop the feats down and feed as many as we can that we see, and then run off, do other quests. And if it comes up that they pop up later, then we'll feed those. But I don't think we're going to sit here and run around in this area for a long or extended amount of time just to save the, what do I call it? Save the amount of time that we put into this. There's one there, so we'll start off with that one, and then that one over there. We'll feed him. And Jennifer says, annoyingly, the Gloomhound is the Arcus evil. Alright, so let's go ahead and drop that. We did aggro him, okay. Let's go ahead. I'll take a look at the Gloomhound here in a second. Just making sure we don't kill ourselves while we're looking at pets. He says it's 2:22 here, so no more. Well, I think if I know my time zones, that's what, Western Europe. So welcome from the southern region of the United States. How's your afternoon? He says I'm after the Syrian Runestrider from the Rossian Reach. Okay. So I'm going to start having to get familiar with all these names so I can keep up with you guys. Runestrider. And you said the... Oh, okay. We're going back to the Talbucks. And then someone was saying something about Gloom, I believe, right? Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. It's tied to achievements? Okay. It says Sweden. Very nice. Well, welcome from welcome Sweden. I do like the mornings. We do have a lot of people from Australia, Europe, even a few from Asia, so welcome everyone. Appreciate you guys stopping by. And for those, do you mean something? Dave says hello again, Kuhn. Good morning, David. How are you doing? I need to go ahead and kill this guy. We're looking for enraged Kodos at the moment. Alright, so we're good there. All the while, looking at all the mounts that we work. David says New York, so nothing big here. It's still early in the morning, David. It's all good. Welcome to the channel from the south. Alright, so at that, I think there was an enraged Kodo right near the edge, so just basing that off memory, he might be gone by now. Yeah, he is. Okay. Alright. So with that, let's go ahead and knock out the other quests. Like I said, there's no reason to spend too much time here. These things, you can only drop your what do you want to call it? Your soothing broth in this location. So sometimes you have to aggro the enraged Kodo, drag it into this location, and then drop the broth. So it's a little bit of a pain of a quest, especially with how infrequent the Kodos are and where they spawn. But I think we might luck out and have a fourth one here. So that works out. And let's see. I think at this point we need to set some of these other guys free here. This one is not enraged. Say for example, if there was one we saw up here, we would have to aggro it and have it chase us back down there and then drop the broth. Otherwise it wouldn't work. So maybe something in the future they could, a quest they could, what do you want to call it? Make it a little bit easier to complete. And Jennifer says she mains a hunter. Let's see. It says really what name and realm. Let's see. Navala. There we go. If I can say that right. Navala says, "Good morning, Q. How are you? Good morning. Well, we're doing all right. I'm feeling a little bit better, and we've leveled almost 5 times now, actually. So we're doing pretty good. Like I said, today will be not a short stream, but it'll be our normal stream, whereas we'll go from 6 to 9 Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully kill this guy real quick, just because in being sick I have a little bit of work to do and everything else, so we'll work with that. Alright, so for this one, when you hit one of these guys, it's going to aggro all of them, so be careful of that. And if that's not dangerous enough, they also respawn really quickly. So here we go. See if we can blow him up real quick. And then yeah, we'll save our instant spells for this guy. Try to blow him up. I'm gonna see if we can. Oops. I summoned Sam rather than fearing the guy, just because I mixed up my buttons. Alright, so with that, we'll get our health back up here. And we'll nuke this one down. Fortunately though, I guess if you don't think you could take on all 3, you do get credit as soon as you aggro the mobs. So I guess you could try to kill one and then run, and you'd still get credit for the quest completion. So that is an alternative tactic if you wanted. So, like I said, these guys will respawn here pretty quickly. Let's see if we can keep an eye on it. And with that, last time it was within seconds, so yep, there we go, and they're back. So yeah, you don't have much time to clear them out and get out the way, but yeah, it can be a dangerous quest, especially if you decide to run in there or anything like that. So with that, we'll go ahead and nuke this. Dixon says, can't think about doing the Resto Druid, but I don't know. I heard Resto Druids are fairly strong in healing. Or at least they have been all throughout Legion so far. I don't do a healer, so I have no idea. He says, I don't know if a Druid is needed. He says, send a message on YouTube, Vixen. Not currently logged in. Gotcha. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and pick up these little crates. I think we need all of 7. So usually these crates are only within the little tents. So that being said, we're probably going to have to kill quite a few more mobs, at least 4, to get into the other tents and loot the crates there. which isn't a big deal. It's just kind of knowing what to do and knowing the next step of the process here, which is probably more of the, what do you want to call it, the greater challenge in the Ironman race, Ironman challenge. Just knowing kind of what to do next and knowing the dangers that kind of are within those next few steps. With that, let's go ahead and see if we can clear out. I don't see anything in this camp, so we'll leave him alone for now. We'll nuke this guy. There we go. Alright, so with that, that'll work. And then we'll nuke this one. Oop, we are going to have someone sneak up on us. So rather than run around unnecessarily, we'll just save up and nuke them real quick. Chaos Bolt is still treating us pretty well, so we'll be using that as often as we can. I don't know if I think I've been using it pretty effectively for most of today's stream, just because I have a 60+ levels worth of experience with it. Transmog, the green color, very nice. The let's go ahead and pick up number 5 here. And I think there's only, yeah, normally it's we get our 6th one out of here, and I thought there might be 2 in here, but usually we have to go over here to get our 7th one, so not a big deal. Jennifer says it's the basic stuff from almost beginning of her run, but I like it. From which run is that, Jennifer? Alright, so with this, I think we can, oh, you know what, we didn't set our hearth. That's what we forgot to do. We didn't set our hearth in our new location, which is fine. We're gonna have to run back through the enraged Kodos area just so we can actually get that one that we were missing. But otherwise, we would have just hearth there, or hearth there, depending on where you're from. There we go. Not bad. Closing in on 35, and boom. Oh, you know what? I think I killed the guy in here and then didn't pick up the chest piece. There we go. Alright, so with that, we're off. And we're going to see if we can find an enraged Kodo, of all things. Try to avoid aggroing these guys as much as possible. There is a quest that we get from a little goblin hut right about here. I think we're going to try to skip it next time, or this time, just because it's one of those quests that is a little bit out of the way for the most part. We might pick it up just on the off chance of actually doing it, but for the most part I think we're going to skip it. And we're breaking all of our own Ironman rules and running away from these guys, but should be alright. We're going to see if we can find another enraged Kodo here. And I think we didn't look in this area last time, so we'll take a quick little sneak peek. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's gonna be about it in this area. We might need to give it more time for those guys to respawn. They can, you know what? Let me set my hearthstone here. They can incidentally just be hard to come across. I think there's only one location you can, yeah, there's only one location you can drop off that little broth. So, with that being said, let's actually set our hearthstone here this time. There we go. And perfect. Let's see. So with that, we'll turn in these 2 quests, and I think we have to ride this guy into battle this time. I remember the order of the questing series. Nice. Level 35. So that's not too bad. Leveled 5 times in less than 3 hours. Alright, so with that, ready to go to battle, and off we go. Also, once you get to the hill, if you don't plant the banner, you just kind of sit there. So you do want to, once you get in that location, I'll point it out. But let's see if there's any Kodos in this direction. Not that we could do anything with them, but yeah, I don't see any. Alright. Well, we might have to give it another 10 or 20 minutes before we come back here. Fixin says, do you have any fishes in the background? I do not. No, I don't have any sort of fish. I do have a 20-year-old cat that is absolutely passed out, but no fish. So with that, this is the general area that you want to drop down drop your banner in. It says it sounds like you have a tank in the background. Oh, you guys can hear that? That's actually a fan. Is it overwhelming or is it okay? Because if it's overwhelming, I can definitely adjust that so it's not as loud. So there we go. Otherwise, if you don't drop the banner, otherwise the guy will just kind of walk around in a circle for a long amount of time. And let's see. We'll go ahead and light this guy up. They tend to die pretty quick. This quest is a little bit, what do you want to call it? I don't know. It gives a false indication that it's really dangerous. For the most part, these guys are pretty straightforward, and when they come through, and the ones defending it hit really hard, so there's not too much to worry about, except for the ones that aren't a part of the quest. There we go. So we'll get our health up. Vixen says, no, it's okay. Alright. Just making sure it's not hard to listen to for any reason. Thank you, sir. He says so. Dwarf Warlock. Yes, sir, a dwarf one. We've tried it with a worgen, a gnome, and a human. And we've died on each of those, so it's time to give the dwarf a shot. But we're actually the same level as we were with the hunter, so if it just so happens that by the end of the month we still have the warlock and he's alive, we'll probably continue with him until we hit 110 or so. Alright, so let's go this way. Continue with him until he hits 110 or dies, and then we'll switch back to the hunter. But yeah, we are now level 35. Which surprisingly has been pretty good for us, especially in Deathless. Normally it's a slow leveling zone, but we've done pretty well with the Warlock. So we'll blow this guy up as well. And I guess we'll just kind of, we'll grind our way toward the Goblin House. Normally, like I said, those guys, that guy gives us a quest to pick up Kodo skulls, but it's a little bit out of our way. We'll just kind of grind mobs toward this place. If we get there, if we get close to them, we'll pick up that quest and just hold it in case we run by the graveyard. But we probably won't go out of our way to complete it by any means. And he says, why would you do the Ironman challenge? Like you could be gearing up your main or getting an ult up, etc, etc. Just for a different pace. This just happens to be fun for me to do the Ironman challenge. My main, I do play the main quite a bit, but I more or less play it in the afternoons. So, yeah, Progress says he's doing that also. Yeah, so multitasking, I guess. But as far as, I probably spend, I do a little bit of Argus at least once a day. Now that I was sick the past couple days, I didn't log on. I don't think since last Saturday, but yeah, as of now, just different variety, different level of content. Just because it surprisingly, the Ironman challenge is fairly fun. It's not as grindy and as tough. I'll take that back. It's not as grindy as I thought it'd be. It's still tough. This is my 9th Ironman, so it is still a pretty tough challenge. Alright, so with that, I think we can... Yeah, I think we're close enough to pick up the quest from this guy, so we'll do that. And then Vixen says, well, I'm going to fix the laundry. I'll be back in a minute. Alright, Vixen. We'll be here. Like I said, for those that are new to the channel, welcome. Today will be a 3-hour stream just so that we can give me a chance to catch up with the schoolwork due to my being sick for the past 2 or 3 days. But overall, I'm not disappointed at all with the progress we've made. This is, I want to say, normally in Deathless we level a lot slower. So, it says you're near the one-shot of miles. Should do the challenge naked. Well, if it makes any difference to you, we do have all of 15 armor, I believe. Yep, 15 armor. So we probably could do it naked and have the same difference. The only reason it's coming in close to one-shotting is just because we have the Chaos Bolt. That's actually going to start to diminish once we get to level 40 and higher. But for the most part, yeah, I try to use the Chaos Bolt as often as possible. Jennifer hums Gilligan Island. You know what? I don't think I never watched the show growing up, but I have seen bits and pieces of Gilligan's Island. I don't know if I'm a fan of it or not. It's one of those things like I could either take it or leave it. I think if you grew up with it, or if you watched reruns of it while you were growing up, it's enjoyable. But yeah, I could take or leave Gilligan's Island, to be honest. Now, speaking of a series that I've been addicted to, me and the girlfriend, we've been watching The Office. That's funny. I think we watched close to 8 episodes last night. Alright, so that's 5 of the pieces we need, so we're good there. And, yeah, we'll go ahead and turn it in here. I was going to say we can hearth back, but I think we'll need to hearth back after we've turned this in. So with that, see if we can outrun this guy. Like I said, normally you don't want to do exactly what I'm doing just because it's counterintuitive, meaning that a lot of times when you run through mobs like that, it's the ones that you run into a second or the third mob that you run into that dismounts you, and then you have a whole bunch of new problems. But we're trying to keep competitive with the raids to a certain extent. So with that, we're just kind of taking not taking all the necessary precautions that we probably should. Never says, you keep seeing 3-hour stream, which makes me think a 3-hour tour from the theme. Gotcha, okay. You're gonna have that song stuck in my head now, Jennifer. Alright, so with that, we'll go ahead and nuke this guy here. And blow this one up. Probably should have started with a Chaos Bolt. Just because for destruction spec, your fire spells generate your soul shards, and then your Chaos Bolt consumes them. So you want to try to move as quickly as possible. If you don't use your soul shards in time, they do disappear. So you just want to make sure you use them as often as you can, which is why we typically try to open up with Chaos Bolt more often than nothing. It says, my work is done. Nice. Ewa says, if you're a tank spec, you can't be dismounted, so respecting 2 tank would be a good idea for running past mob groups. Yeah, I think if once we roll a paladin, we might do something like that, Evo. It seems like that's just a quality of life improvement in and of itself. And then Jennifer says, my work is done. And, oh, airplane. Yeah, we have airplanes fly through here, like, feels like every 30 minutes or an hour. I was wondering at one point if that was what was causing the fish tank sound that Dixon was talking about, but I think it's my little fan in the background. So blow him up. We're good there. Once we've turned in this quest, we'll be neutral with all these guys, so It's just a matter of trying. I think we will. Now I'm not so sure. We might have to turn in one more quest before we get neutral, because he's going to have us go to another camp and kill mobs there, and kind of a shadow of what the questing in here used to be. The questing in Deathless used to be really in depth, and then these guys all had individual reps, but they kind of since then gotten away from that for the most part. But I think your old characters, the ones that were made back then, still have the rep bar for these guys. Excuse me. And so yeah, we'll turn these in real quick. Leave that guy alone. Alright, perfect. So next up, we need to Hearthback. Let's see, catch up with chat. I am caught up. Very nice. That's rare. Alright, so this time I am going to pop over on Cadyar for those that are interested in joining the guild we've made over there. I know I've meant to do that last time, but like I said, was starting to feel sick, so I didn't get a chance to do that. So I'm going to try to make sure I do that this time before logging off. But before we do that, let me see if there's one more in Rage Coda. See if one's popped up for us. If not, not a big deal. But if so, that's going to save us time in the future. Progress says logging in. Thumbs up. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so for that, return then this quest over here. Yeah, Progressive. So I'm going to hop on in about 3 minutes here. We're just going to turn in all the quests, clean out our bags, and then pick up follow-up quests. That way, we can call it a save point today. And I think, yeah, we have a quest right here. So we're good with this, and we'll pick up this next quest here in a second. If I can find the ramp, there we go. I was gonna say, bad thing about being a lower level is just not being able to fly. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and pop up on this guy and sell everything. You do want to repair your gear when you can, and then as always for the auction, for the auction house, you can sell the. Is that an upgrade for us? Oh, it is nice. So we're gonna have 17 armor now. As always, you can sell anything on the auction house. It's just a gentleman's agreement or scout's honor with regards to whether or not you can, whether or not you abuse it or whatever. So, as much as possible, they say don't abuse it. There we go. Fast bind on equip. We'll get rid of that just because I try not to, as much as possible, try not to use those. And I don't think we got any transmog today, which is unfortunate. That is a bummer. I was hoping, whoops, is that? That's soulbound, okay. I was hoping we'd get some red shoulders that way go well with our transmog, but I suppose not. Not a big deal. So with that, we'll get rid of these bracers. Now we'll throw stuff on the auction house later today. That way we can start fresh tomorrow morning. Alright, so with that, we're good here. We'll log out, and I'm going to pop in on the Khadgar and Illyria now. Jeff says, just logged on Storm Illyria. I'm now tempted to make a female dwarf shaman or pally just because. You're more than welcome to. I'm not going to put too many restrictions, or no restrictions on the amount of characters or alts people have in the guild. Just because right now it's an alt guild, so let me go ahead and switch out here. And oops, there we go. Pop that up. And let's see. We are on. Oh, that was right. There we go. That's my first panda. Vicious looking panda there. And I did write it down yesterday, or last time we were up. Let's see. See if I can. My character is on Alaria, I think, right? Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and send out the invites. Just so I can, like I said, I felt bad that I forgot to do that, or wasn't able to do that on Saturday, so. We have Storm, Alaria. That should go through, right? And then, let's see. Progressive, your character's name, I did write it down. Let me see. It might be on another sheet of paper. What was your character's name? I did write it down, but I must have put it on a different sheet of paper. And Jennifer says went through fine. And welcome to the guild, Jennifer. Thanks for being a part, by the way. I will I'll work on getting some netherweave bags in there, and that way people can have a decent little starter pack to leveling and everything like that. So I'll work on that later today, throughout this weekend. I just need to get my school stuff in order. And David says, I think the pandas were an awesome addition to the game. I like them, David. Like you said, I thought they were pretty good. I think a lot of people didn't really care for them all too much. But I actually liked them. I just never broke down and made one until me and the girlfriend did Recruit a Friend. Ankle Biter, there we go. Ankle Biter on Khadgar. So hopefully that goes through, unless you have a special character. You know what? I think there's an L. I remember you saying that last time. There we go. Whoops. Let's put a little dash in between them. That one's not found. Let me go ahead and put this on the correct side. The resolution on my... Oh, you did that. Then asterisk. Okay. The resolution, if I can speak, on my second monitor isn't as great as my first one, so there we go. If I can hit the dash. There we go. It's not saying it can't find you there, Progressive. Even with the asterisks. Eric says if only one was US and not EU. Yeah, Eric, I'm hoping in the near future they'll kind of merge them, but with the, what do you want to call it? The currency, the tokens being such drastic prices, I don't see them doing that anytime soon. Let's see. Progressive, if you want, try the... Oh, I did. So I forgot the R. Okay. I did forget the R. Alright, we'll try that one more time here. Thank you, Jennifer. Alright, you know what? Let's try it this way. There we go. So if you're on the same server, I guess there's a way that it doesn't let you put a, what do we call it, a little dash up. So that was what we were running into. Got it. Thank you, Jennifer. And Progressive got it. So thank you guys. If you guys are also interested in being part of the guild, let me know, and we'll just kind of add more as we go along. It's an alt guild, so there's definitely no reason to spend a ton of time, but as we start to get mains and whatnot, we'll get it ramped up and running. But for now, we're just a small little leveling guild, so we have all of 8 members, 3 of which are on, so there we go. But with that, guys, we'll go ahead and log out here with my beast-like panda there. But with that, guys, thank you very much for being a part of today's stream. We are gonna keep it down to 3 hours. I have a little bit of work to do, but thank you guys very much for being a part of today's stream. I have been sick, so it looks like we're getting better. We're all alright. It's just a matter of catching up at this point in time. So thank you guys once again for being a part of the stream. The subscriptions this morning, nothing I didn't hear any sounds, so I don't know what's going on with the software in the background. I'll double check that. But usually it announces it, but we'll go from there. But thank you for everything as far as the likes and especially the conversation. So Jennifer says, glad you're feeling better. Good luck with schoolwork. Thanks, Jennifer. You have a great rest of the day, and you two have a good luck leveling, by the way. Well, I'll work on setting it up so that we can have everyone set up invites, and we'll just go from there. But otherwise, until tomorrow morning, guys, you guys have a great rest of the day. Take care, be safe, and I will see you tomorrow morning.